Hello, everybody. My name is Michael Gutierrez, and I'm here to talk about what we really are. What is the most basic to human existence? What is most basic to human existence? The fact of awareness. Awareness is more fundamental than the body, more fundamental than emotion, more fundamental than the mind. The constant reality of awareness is consciousness itself, not consciousness of anything such as a body sensation, an emotion, or a thought, or a person, or a thing in our environment, but consciousness itself. In fact, consciousness itself is our real identity. We are consciousness itself. Because consciousness itself is the reality that pervades all of human existence, it is called the true water of life, the deep well of truth that is the real source of our living. To know what we are consciously, consciousness itself grants sanity, freedom, and happiness. The heart, despite the trials of our mortal existence, and the reality that we are consciousness itself is a message that we want all human beings to receive. There, here is my gift to you. The gift to all human beings, so that knowledge is of this truth could be the foundation of every human life. We even wish that all children could hear this truth from their youngest days, so that their lives could be guided by it from the beginning. This truth is the case no matter what arises. In other words, this is the truth regardless of what the body is experiencing, regardless of what emotions may be coming up, regardless of what thoughts we may be having, and regardless of what appears to be happening in the world. And also, this truth is the case even if there is no bodily sensations or emotions or thoughts happening in the moment. The truth is always already the case. The truth is always already the case. No matter what arises or does not arise, you are only consciousness itself. No matter what arises or does not arise, there is only consciousness itself. The truth is, in many ways, helping us to understand the profundity and informative power of this truth. Fundamental experience is the experience of being itself, of consciousness itself. The self-aware pleasure of existing is the fundamental gift, the divine gift, the persistent gift that you are tending to ignore. Like the way we speak, think, touch, smell, feel. Learn to get away from these sensations and learn to feel what your heart is saying. Therefore, to live a truly human life is to become a participant in the real world of always already existing reality. Your problems and your questions only arise because you forget consciousness. You presume that you presume you are the body, but in reality you are only witnessing the body. You are aware of the body as something in consciousness. You do not experience the body itself as a thing in and of itself. You are consciousness of body. Therefore, consciousness itself is first, not the body. Then there appears to be the body, and you identify with it and forget consciousness. That is how consciousness itself becomes the unconscious. You presume to be the body and you imagine consciousness. It is to be found somewhere else. The error in which you live is the error of presuming that fundamental experience is that of being an individuated body that is birthed, that is existence, that the reality in which you exist and everyone exists, and that is what there is to be concerned about and to participate in and fulfill and so forth. You must understand that that is an error. That is not the way it is. You are not in the position of the body. You presume so is your error. What is the actual root experience or first experience? It is not the body. It is consciousness now. It is the commonly presumed that the apparently individual conscious self is doing the thinking. You presume that you are thinking and that you are the subject of that thinking. You presume that you are the source and cause of and doer of thinking. You presume that the contents, questions, and problems of your thinking are yours, but this is only a presumption or a mere idea. That presumption is not inspected, and indeed, that presumption is not true. Right now, you appear to be thinking, but that thinking is not actually being done by you as you really are. You are not the thinking mind. Rather, you are simply the formless and actionless mere witness of whatever is arising around you. It appears that you are associated with conditions in the states of waking, dreaming, and sleeping. However, none of these conditions last, and therefore you cannot be any of those conditions. You are that which appears to be modified in the form of all conditional phenomena. You are consciousness itself. The entire waking state arises within consciousness itself. The entire dreaming state arises within consciousness itself. And when any condition in any of those three states or otherwise, when any one of those states itself passes to consciousness, it remains. Consciousness itself never changes. Consciousness itself is always already the case. Everything is seen through the glasses of consciousness. Everything is a mode of consciousness. Every perception, every thought, everything together that you call the world. Everything in it, everyone in it, all relations, all functions, all circumstances, all instants of time, all space, all appearances. The entire universe exists only on the basis of consciousness itself. It is everything that everything appears on consciousness as on a screen. Everything simply passes, but always consciousness is the basis of everything appearing. Consciousness is the substance in which all passing phenomena are arising and disappearing. No matter what happens to the mind, to the body, mind, self, while you live, you are always merely aware. The awareness of itself never changes, even while you are aware of changes. The awareness itself never changes. There are not different kinds of awareness, different colors of it, or different shapes of it. Awareness is simply and only awareness itself. No matter what happens in the mind, in the body-mind complex and awareness itself, it never affects by change. Awareness itself does not go through changes. Awareness merely and simply observes changes. Awareness itself is the in-depth mirror witness. If you are not reality intelligent in the moments of change, then every time there is a change, you identify with that change. I am that change. Then you think and say, when the body is suffering, you think and say, I am suffering. When reactive emotion arises, you think and say, I am angry. I am sorrowful. I am afraid. That which in and as reality itself never changes is in its superficial, daily, ordinary state, constantly presuming itself to be changed and to be changed. In this moment it is painful, in the next moment it feels good. The daily, ordinary ego mind is constantly identifying pure awareness, or in the depths mirror witness, with the changes that are peripheral to it. If you inspect awareness itself, if you enter into it most profoundly, you will clearly see the awareness itself does not change, but it is simply and only the in-depth mirror witness of changes. A way to observe the consciousness is always the same. If you locate a memory of something that happened earlier in your life, a memory that is so vivid that you can feel the event again, do that and compare it to your feelings now. Not the content of now, but the feeling of yourself now, compared to the feeling of yourself then. And it does not make a difference how much development has been of the persona in terms of content or years or whatever it may be. The conscious being feels the same whether it's 5 years old, 20 years old, or 70 years old. However many years old, it is the same. If you clearly recollect how it was being there, if you clearly sense it again, it is the same as now. Consciousness is always the same, now and in the past, whether the recent past or the past so long ago. Even now, no matter what arises, you are consciousness itself, not the ego, not the separate self, but the conscious self, consciousness of self. No matter what arises, even now you are consciousness itself. This is absolutely true, and it is a way of saying that there is to. It is absolutely true. It is a way of saying what there is to realize. To realize this is realization itself. Consciousness itself is not an effect or a result of any conditional event or any display of conditional events. The very existence of consciousness itself is not dependent on any condition or any display of conditions. Consciousness itself is the essential inherent characteristic or most primitive, irreducible, inherently spiritual, or love blissful, transcendental, in transcendental, egoless, and self-evidently divine element of being itself, or of existence itself, or of reality itself. When conditions arise or change, or pass away in the view of consciousness, consciousness itself remains always as the same free love bliss of being. It would do everyone good if the basics of these messages were given to them from their infancy. Simply this: no matter what arises or does not arise, you are the consciousness self. The basic communication of all humankind to its future children should be that, and that no one matter, and then no matter what people do from then on, no matter what they experience, they will know that this is the case, this is reality, and this is the great thing to be realized. This message should be used by every living being. It should be made known to everyone, even if only as a verbal communication. To realize the truth of that verbal communication requires a great process. Whatever anyone wants to do about that is up to the individual, but this much basic information, if only in the form of these words, whatever they may mean to anyone at any time, is something of which no one should be deprived. It should be a basic common gift to mankind. Whatever anyone will make of it, at least this message would be given to you all, without any limitation of any situation in the world. I want everyone to know this. I want everyone to hear this. It is simply a gift. This understanding, everything that comes from it, everything that is associated with it, should become the foundation of human culture in the future. This understanding should be undeniably real basis for the future culture of humankind. That's my little philosophy on what we are. I believe with all my heart that in these words, people, you, me, them, will see a degree of truth in it. Another kind of truth. I'm a life coach, and I specialize in helping people get out of here into here to find a better way for themselves. I'm also a level 3 Reiki master, and I show people how to heal themselves, because anybody can do it, but nobody knows or believes that they can. I'm here to show you otherwise. Last but not least, awakening the illuminated heart. When you do that, we create what they call a Merkaba. A Merkaba is a field around your body that helps you create, co-create the life that you want, and to move on to ascension, ascending and getting that much closer to God. Much love, everybody. Once again, my name is Michael Gutierrez, and I will see you soon. Hopefully not soon enough. You have a very blessed day, and God bless. I love you guys. Bye-bye.